Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Nick with Fitness is the Mission, and today we're going to be going over some new exercises that you can use either at home or at the gym. Doesn't matter, as long as you guys are using them to help you in your adventure, whatever you're going with, whether it be getting some big muscles or just fitness in general, whatever. That's what these are here to help for. So we're going to be using just a little bit of equipment today. We got a stability ball. And then we also got two resistance bands, both of different weight. So obviously, the thicker the band is, a little bit more resistance it has. So here we got the green one. This is a little bit of a thinner band, probably about 20 to 30 pounds here. Next, we got the blue band, which is probably about 60 to 70 pounds, somewhere around there. But Nick, what are we going to be using those for? I hear you guys asking. I'm going to show you. So what we're going to do first, we're going to be using the blue one, the heavier resistance one, for a chest press. A standing chest press. Some of you guys may see it at the gym. Some of you guys may have never seen it before. Most of the time they're kind of used with cable machines, the big cables with the attachments that you guys can use. But also you can use the resistance band if you want to do it at home or something like that. So what we do, we anchor it somewhere nice and sturdy, because if I pull this bad boy and it flies on my back, I'm not going to be a happy camper. So we get somewhere that's nice and sturdy, that's not going to fall, test it out a little bit. Come forward, 1 foot behind the other, or 1 foot in front of the other, whatever you want to say, tomato, tomato. We're going to have a little bit more weight in this back foot than the front. If I put more weight in the back foot, it keeps me from flying back like this. So a little bit more stronger stance back here, a little bit less weight up here, keeps me nice and stable. Next, we're going to come here, push forward, and then back. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Or we could even pretend like we're boxing. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and so forth. Make sure we keep the head up, chest up, nice tight core, push and push. So what this is doing is it's working the chest muscles, but it's also engaging the core here. So you can see I'm using my stabilizer muscles to keep me upright. If I didn't, I'd probably just fall over and crash. But we don't want that. So nice strong core, and again we're pushing and back. The good thing about these is using a standing cable press rather than a bench press, which I'm not saying that using bench presses are bad, that they're horrible. I think they're good. I use it in my personal workouts. I'm not dissing bench press at all. Now, if you're up there, you're benching like 300 or so pounds, which I know you guys are. I know you guys are in the gym, just repping it out like, that's probably your warm-up weight. But anyway, so you guys are in there, you're bench pressing. What happens is your shoulder blades are like pinned down. So they can't really move very much because they're pinned against the weight of the bar and the bench, so they're not moving at all. And what happens is you get something that's called scapular winging, which I'll put a description in the description box below, what scapular winging looks like and what it is. I can try to give you guys a little bit of an image of what it is. So it's when the shoulder blades, you see them kind of stick out like this. It's kind of hard to show on the camera, but you see the shoulder blades, they stick out like that. And when people walk around, you'll see them really flared out. That's what scapular winging is. And with that standing chest press, it's working the shoulder blades to the full motion, or the full extent of their range of motion. And it's getting them stronger and helping them stay tighter, which is what we want. So if you solely focus with just bench press and never any kind of standing things, you're more likely to see some scapular winging. Next, let's go ahead and hit some back. Oh, before we do that, I want to show you guys how I prefer to have the cables around my arm when I'm doing this chest press. I like to keep them like this. That way, it's not rubbing against my arm. If I put it this way and the cable's here, it's hitting my arm the whole time, and I'm not trying to mess up my skin. I just don't like the feeling. Some people don't care. Some people do it that way. Whatever. It's up to you guys. It's not going to affect the exercise at all. You just might have some pretty raw skin. I have a huge hole in my side. Good thing you guys can't see my socks right now. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna be working on the mid-back and the deltoids, the rear deltoids themselves. We'll go ahead, we'll stand on the resistance band. The further out the resistance band is spread, the harder it's going to become because there's more resistance. Think of it as a rubber band, which is pretty much what these are, just glorified rubber bands. And what they're going to do is cause more tension on the muscle. The further or the closer your feet are together, a little bit less resistance on the band themselves. So we come here, cross the resistance band. We're going to throw the hips back. I'll show you what it looks like in a lateral view or a side view here in a second. So we come here, chest up, head up in a neutral spine, and then we're going to fly out like this. Really focus on the middle back. When I first did this, I already felt my upper traps try to take over, and that's not what we want. Really focus on that middle back. So here, we're up, get ready for our position. We're going to push the hips back. Go ahead and put the chest up, the head in a neutral spine, and then we're going to come out just like that. Really focus on the middle back. You feel those upper traps activate, reset, and try it again. Really focus on that middle back. I can't stress that enough. A lot of people think that they're working the middle back, and then all of a sudden, is that fun? That's fun to me. But all of a sudden, you guys are working a whole different muscle and not getting the gains that you guys are looking for, because everybody's already got tight upper traps. I can almost guarantee that. So when you're walking around, you're like, oh, my neck. That's because you're not really working the muscle that you're trying to hit. You're working a secondary muscle that's taken over because it's a lot stronger than your middle back. Next, we'll go ahead, we'll work on the core a little bit. So you guys are like, how are you going to do this? I'll show you. It's a little bit different than just kind of a stability ball crunch. This is a little bit more of an advanced exercise to that. So what we do is we get the stability ball, go ahead and get our hands all figured out here. So we want the plastic part of the resistance band is going to be in the palm of the hand, and then the rope part of it will be on top of our knuckles. First we come here, find a good stability point back here for that. We're going to come back almost into a little bit of the low back, a little bit right in between the shoulder blades and the low back, and then we crunch up and back down. The further out you go, the more resistance you'll get. You might have to kind of reset a little bit and then get the idea of where you want to be. Next, we'll come here, put that here again, and then we can come up and back down. And the further out you go, a lot harder it'll be. I can already feel myself shaking from it because it does put a lot more resistance on the body. The good thing about these stability balls is that it's already an unstable surface, so it's already going to incorporate more abdominal muscles themselves. Now that exercise right there is focused on the rectus abdominis, or the six-pack ab muscles in the front of the abdomen. So it's going to be focusing on those muscles mainly, but also being on the stability ball and you're kind of going side to side, trying to stay nice and centered, it's going to be using those obliques. It's going to be using the back a little bit to keep you up there. It's going to be using the glutes to keep your hips raised. It's using all kinds of muscles, and it's kind of something that we forget about, the stability muscles, when we're into weightlifting and things like that. We got to have strong stability muscles, otherwise you're going to walk around and you're just going to collapse. Or you're going to be doing weightlifting like bicep curls when you're standing up, and then you'll see yourself really rocking it, and you're just using other muscles to try to get them up there. And the stability aspect, you're not very strong in that. So with different exercises using stability balls, standing chest press, it increases the use of the stability muscles to make them stronger. Sorry, I went off on a little rant right there, but that happens every once in a while. Alright, so next, we're going to be working on, if you guys have any kind of muscular deficiencies in the legs. I can honestly say my left leg is a lot weaker than my right leg. So in order to fix that, I kind of started playing around. I was doing one-legged squats, but when I would do my one-legged squats in the gym, I felt like I was kind of using every other muscle just to get me up and to get me there. So I decided to throw in, there's two different ways to do it, but today we're going to be using the stability ball to kind of get an idea of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that stability ball right in the natural curve of the low back here. It'll be sitting right there. Then we'll decide what leg we want to use first. You got to use them both. You can't just use one or the other. You got to use them both. And then we're going to take one foot kind of angled in front of the other, and then we'll squat down. I'll show you what it looks like with the stability ball. Sadly, this wall over here isn't open, so I can't show you guys a side view of it. I can just show you the front view, but you guys can still kind of get the idea of it. So we put it again in the natural curve of the back there. We put one foot in front of the other, and then what we're going to do, make sure that's nice and settled back there. You got to really trust the ball. Don't worry, you're not going to fall. And if you do, then just kind of laugh at yourself. But if you're nice and stable with it, you're not going to fall. Trust the ball, only go down to where you feel comfortable and then pop right back up. So we go down, focusing on one leg, bringing us back up and down, two, and you can see how straight my body is. Whereas if I was trying to do single leg squats, just standing still, I would be all over the place, and that would not be good. It's not really working the muscles I'm focusing on. One of the things you want to do, make sure when you're going up that you're watching the foot. Do not let it go. When you're down here, don't let it go over the toes. And back up, and so forth. If you want to progress that exercise to make it a little bit harder, you can put a kettlebell right here on your chest or dumbbells down to your side. So, what was that? 4 exercises we did? 4 new exercises to spice up your workout routine? It's not bad. That's not bad. Later this week or maybe next week, I'll put up here a new workout routine for you guys to do. I would like to start getting in the gym with you guys and going around to different machines and stuff. Or maybe we'll strictly stay at home and do stuff there. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment box. This is as much as your channel as it is mine. Alright guys, have a good one. Thanks for watching, and giggity giggity.